So, a federal judge issued search warrants for Rudy Giuliani's stuff. Today, we took one big step on the road to justice. And justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So let's just start with this. Today is a good day for justice. Because today, federal search warrants were executed on Rudy Giuliani's office, on Rudy Giuliani's home, on Rudy Giuliani's electronic devices. Let's talk about the nuts and bolts of what a search warrant actually means, and then let's pull back to 30,000 feet and see what we can glean from the fact that these search warrants at long last were issued and executed. Okay, so first the nuts and bolts. Search warrants 101. When the FBI, the Department of Justice, is trying to obtain a search warrant for somebody's home, office, computer, cell phone, what they do is they put evidence into an affidavit and they present that affidavit to a federal judge. And the federal judge has to evaluate the evidence that the FBI presents. And the judge has to conclude whether there is in fact probable cause to believe there's evidence of crime in the place to be searched or the thing to be seized. And a federal judge reviewed the evidence against Rudy Giuliani, and he or she concluded, yes, there is probable cause to believe there's evidence of crime right now in Rudy Giuliani's office, in his home, in his electronic devices, and the judge authorized the search warrants. That's a big deal. And I can tell you, folks, that was vetted up and down the chain at the Department of Justice many times, especially when you're trying to get a search warrant for a lawyer's office, especially when it's one of the president's lawyers. We'll be talking more about the implications of that in the future. Let's pull back to 30,000 feet. What does it mean that these search warrants at long last have issued and were executed? Because remember, there was reporting about how months ago in the Bill Barr Department of Justice, the federal prosecutors in New York, the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney's Office, wanted to get search warrants for Rudy's stuff. And the hierarchy at the Department of Justice blocked them. But now, Merrick Garland's Department of Justice, following the evidence, not protecting anyone, authorized the application for these search warrants, and they were issued. What that tells us, folks, is the era of the Bill Barr free lunch for Donald Trump's criminal associates is dead as of today. It began to die when Bill Barr left the Department of Justice. It was still drawing a few final breaths when President Biden was inaugurated, and maybe it took its last gasp right before Merrick Garland was confirmed as the Attorney General. But the day of the Bill Barr free lunch for Trump's criminal associates is over, and that is a very good thing for our nation. So now all of this is coming home to roost. And think about this. If past is prologue, what happened last time the FBI raided, searched, pursuant to search warrants, the office and the home and the computers of a Donald Trump attorney, Michael Cohen? Well, what happened was Michael Cohen ended up pleading guilty to several felonies and he was imprisoned. So if past is prologue, we now have another Donald Trump lawyer who has had search warrants executed on his home, on his office, on his electronic devices. So I think we need to keep an eye on what happens to Rudy next. We will talk in the future about the crimes that Rudy Giuliani may have committed, right? What you've heard, FARA violations, the Federal Agents Registration Act, because he was, lobbying for Ukraine. Lobbying is putting it nicely, right? We will talk more about his possible exposure for the insurrection, because remember, he told those Trump supporters, those rioters, get up there and have trial by combat, and that's what they did. We'll be talking about all of that in future videos, but right now, let's just take in the moment, because today, in a very real and concrete sense, our nation took one huge step toward justice. And justice matters. Folks, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.